It started just like any other morning walk, the kind her rescuer took every day with the family dog. They were moving along the path when the woman saw something that made her stop cold. There was a stray cat lying in the dirt, but it wasn't just sleeping. Her head was completely buried in the ground, like she was trying to hide from the pain or had just collapsed from exhaustion. As the rescuer walked closer to check on her, the poor little thing struggled to move her tiny body away. That was when the woman realized the cat's front leg was badly injured. But even with that pain, she was still trying her best to crawl forward. She was dragging herself along the ground, refusing to just lay there and give up. Watching her struggle like that made the rescuer's heart ache. She couldn't imagine what kind of rough life this animal had been living to end up in such a terrible state. She knew she couldn't just leave her there. After talking quickly to her husband, they rushed the cat to the vet immediately. When the doctor examined her, the news was terrifying. He showed them that her eyes were bleeding and her lips had turned a dark purple color. That is never a good sign. On top of that, there was fluid in her abdomen and she had internal bleeding. The vet was honest with them. He said her chance of survival was extremely slim. But the rescuer looked at the helpless cat and just couldn't let her go. She begged the doctor to do everything possible to save her. She told him that even if there was only a 0.01% chance, she wanted to take it. She had to try for her. Because the cat was so sick, her body temperature started dropping really fast. The medical team used a special infrared lamp to keep her warm. But there was a problem. The clinic didn't have staff to watch her overnight, and she was too critical to be left alone. So, the rescuer made the decision to bring her home. She wanted to care for her personally through the night. She was worried the cat might be dehydrated, so she got a small syringe and very gently fed her water. To her relief, the cat cooperated and swallowed it. To keep her warm, the woman placed a hot water bag right next to her. It was a long night. At midnight, she noticed the cat's breathing was getting fast. She was too worried to sleep, so she stayed by her side all night. The next morning, something wonderful happened. The cat lifted her head and let out a soft meow. It was a quiet sound, but it filled the rescuer's heart with joy because she was responding. Looking into the cat's eyes, the woman saw strength. She could feel how badly she wanted to live. On the third day, they took her back to the clinic, and she did something miraculous. She actually stood up. Even the doctor was amazed. Her body temperature had returned to normal. By the afternoon, she was getting stronger. Her energy was coming back, and she even started opening her eyes a little wider. In that moment, the rescuer knew saving her was the right decision. That night at home, she began drinking water on her own. The vet said she could try eating treats. The first time she tasted one, her eyes literally lit up. It was probably the best thing she had ever tasted. After eating, she fell asleep in the funniest position. When the rescuer called her, she responded. By the fourth morning, she was meowing loudly. Her spirit was getting better every day. Now, she even comes close and makes little sounds just to act cute. It melts the rescuer's heart. Of course, she gave her another treat. After eating well, they went back to the vet. The doctor said she had finally made it through the critical 4-day period. Just to be safe, they gave her one last IV infusion. As for her leg, the doctor thinks she was hit by something heavy. Luckily, there was no bone damage. With food and rest, she would recover. Watching her snuggle in her rescuer's arms, it was clear she just longed for love. She wanted a warm hug. When the woman held her close, the cat acted just like a little child. The rescuer patted her gently to let her know she was safe. She knew then that the cat was finally happy. Later, the rescuer gave her a name, Tien Tien, which means sweet. She hopes her life from now on will be as sweet as her name. That day, she let Tien Tien try real cat food. At first, she seemed unsure, but soon she was gobbling it down. Today was her final treatment. She is so lively now that the rescuer can barely hold her still. Seeing her this active made even the doctor smile. She went from being on the brink of death to being full of life. Finally, they cleaned her ears, shaved a bit of fur, and gave her one last shot. The doctor said if she stays stable, she doesn't need to come back. Inside the cage, she was already restless and playful. She kept changing poses, trying to make her rescuer laugh. After a long afternoon, she was finally discharged. When they got home, the husband had prepared a welcome party for Tian Tian. Even their dogs put on new clothes to greet their new sister. The once homeless Tian Tian finally had a home. No more hunger, no more pain, and no more bullying. From now on, she will never face the storm again because she has a family.